Your child did not lose confidence. They simply stopped feeling safe being seen. And that changes everything. Because a lot of parents think bullying damages a child's worth, their sense of okayness. And yes, it can cover it up, and it seems like their confidence is gone. But I believe something deeper happens first. A child starts learning that being visible hurts, that speaking up gets judged, that being different gets punished. Being themselves, it feels risky. So what do? They adapt quietly. They stop sharing as much. They stay in their room a little bit more. They say, I'm fine, when something's not right. They're clearly not. They stop doing things they used to love. They overthink every message, every look, every friendship. Or they just act like they don't care anymore. Because caring feels too vulnerable. And so from the outside, it's easy to mistake this for attitude, loss of confidence, laziness, too much screen time, being a teenager, moodiness, or just a phase. But often, it's not a phase, it's protection. Their nervous system has started saying, don't stand out, don't open up, don't give people more of you to hurt. And so once a child connects attention, friendship, school, or self-expression with emotional pain, they naturally begin shrinking. Not because they're dramatic, not because they're choosing to make life difficult, but because some part of them is trying to stay safe. And this is where I think a lot of well-meaning support misses the mark. Because when adults rush straight into, oh, you just need to be more confident, or don't let them bother you, or just ignore them, or boys will be boys, or get back to normal, the child feels even more pressure. Because deep down, they don't feel normal, they don't feel safe. They just don't feel like themselves anymore. So my approach is somehow a little bit different. Not by forcing confidence, not by kind of pushing them to be more outgoing, not by telling them they're what they are, where they're meant to be, but with calm, with emotional safety, with helping them feel less overwhelmed inside, less on edge, less under threat, and more understood. Because when a child begins to feel safe again, confidence often starts coming back naturally. The same child through a different approach. They begin talking more, laughing more, joining in again, showing little flashes of their personality again, being the little boy, the little girl you once loved, and you saw their laughter, their shine, their perfection. They stop hiding in the shell of who they were, and they become the person they were always meant to be. Not because confidence was kind of forced into them, but because fear stopped taking up so much space. And I think most parents already know this deep down. You're not looking for a perfect child. You just want your child back. The lighter version, the expressive version, the version who didn't second guess everything, the version who felt safe enough to be themselves. And the hopeful part is that child is usually still there, buried. Buried underneath the bullying, underneath the overwhelm, underneath the silence, underneath the I'm fine. Sometimes they just need help feeling safe enough to come back out. And that's the work I do. I help children feel calmer, safer, more emotionally steady, more like themselves again after bullying, friendship issues, and social hurt. So if this feels familiar, I've left a link below, and you can contact me on my Instagram, Adam Gross Coaching. And yeah, we can have a chat. And even if nothing comes from it, sometimes it helps to speak to someone who understands what's been happening, someone who's been through it and knows exactly what it's about. I have different phases for different people. Maybe they don't want to commit to the whole program. Maybe they just want the first phase, the 30-minute one-on-one sessions. Or maybe you're ready and you feel like, no, my child needs this and this is something that I want to go forward with. Well, we have that too. We have the After that phase, we have the 11 sessions, which are there for a more deep dive into rebuilding the spark. So the whole program is 5 months with each phase, with options for everyone, whether you want affordable or whether you want a payment plan or whether you actually have the money paying for and you can get a discount. But what I always say to people, and this is key to my approach and my method, is I never want money to be a barrier. If you think that this can help your child, you can see here some of my signature tools, whether it's the 7-minute calm reset, whether it's the after school window reset, the confidence comes back tracker, whatever it is, which I've designed by the way, whichever it is, like if you think this can genuinely help your child, please don't let money be the issue. There's always a way forward, whether it's a payment plan, whether it's, slightly shorter sessions, or just you want to be honest and upfront. You look, Adam, I'm struggling at the moment. Can we find an agreement? And I'm sure we can find something that works. And the reason I say that is because I never want someone to feel like money is a barrier. So yeah, the first phase has 30-minute sessions, and it's really important that 30 minutes, you might think that's a bit short, but this is about listening to the child, being present for them. It's about going into their world with games, with animations, with poems, with stories, with visuals, with graphics. It's very child-centered. I typically work with kids as young as 8 through to about 14, sometimes a bit older. And it's all about, as I said, we use things from Harry Potter, science, and kids love it. It's engaging, it's dynamic, and it's brilliant. As I mentioned, we have the Rebuild the Spark phase, which goes into a bit more depth on the foundations we've built in the 30-minute sessions. And I also have, for parents, a Creating a Resilient Family course, because of course, bullying doesn't just affect the child, it affects the whole family. It affects the worried mother at night who's searching online, who's searching YouTube, who's searching Instagram, and just frantic with worry and stress and just wants support. The father who's short at work, who's short with their other kids who you don't have time for because your life is just so absorbed with this struggle and you don't see a way out. It affects the whole family. I like to say that there's messaging support throughout, which there is. I tend to reply as quick as I can, often within 24 hours. And my hope is to just be that light that someone was for me. Luckily, my parents supported me and I got the support I needed. And my goal is just to be that light and give back, because a little bit of light can dispel a lot of darkness. And as it says here, your child hasn't disappeared. They've just stopped feeling safe enough to be themselves. Because the truth is, a child's well-being can never leave them. It can only be covered up. And the whole work in this approach is really, how can we uncover more moments of their well-being? Because it's always there, just buried underneath myths, false beliefs, and an illusion, basically. And then once we've uncovered it, how can we be resilient? How can we instill with our kids the resilience, knowing that actually there are going to be times it gets covered up again, but actually it can never leave me. And when a child is anchored in their resilience, they've got like a roadmap to function in life for good, because what we know through life, we're going to get our knocks, we're going to get our challenges, whether it's a mother dying, whether it's a father dying, whether we become redundant, or whatever the case may be, bullying. Always going to get our knocks. But if we can remain resilient and headstrong and kind of come back to a sense of clarity and perspective, we can be able to handle that road through life and the challenges life brings with grace, with optimism, and with hope. And that's something I like to give people, because there's a wonderful quote from the late Sydney Banks. Sorry, let me just remember the quote. If the only thing people learned was not to be afraid of their own experience, that would change the world. On the subject of quote, Nelson Mandela has a lovely quote, which goes like this: man's goodness is like a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. And I liken our well-being to that flame. Yes, it can be hidden and can be buried deep within, but it can never die, it can never be extinguished. And my work is just to fan that flame and to bring it to fruition and to make it shine bright in life, because I was that child and I was feeling depressed, alone, and helpless. But as you can see here, I've got back on my feet, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. I just want to be that guide helping people come back to clarity, come back to perspective, and whichever path feels right for you, I'll be honored to support your child and yourself on this journey. Even if you just want the 7-minute calm reset, I can send that to you. I can send it today. Or you want a bit more information on any of my other tools, just let me know. And I'm sure we can work something out. And yeah, these are the phases I'll just leave you with. So thank you for watching. And yeah, let me know if this has been my Instagram account is Adam Gross Coaching, ADAMGROSS Coaching. And yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, let's do this. Let's help your kids feel resilient, strong, and being able to face the future with calm and confidence. Thank you.